Talk about this bag as a case study where I want to bring the concept of weed in an urban evergreen jungle. Look at this bag. There are some important plants. This is some kind of a spice plant I have, which is thriving pretty well in this semi-shade, as well as a milkweed plant doing very well. Then there is some tomato plant which is trying to come up, but all these efforts are overtaken. Also there is a basil plant here, but all these efforts are overtaken by a weed kind of a creeper which gives flowers. This is nice to have, but I have it everywhere. So in this particular bag, this is acting as a weed, an unwanted weed. By the way, it is a weed. Though it is a weed in urban evergreen jungle, nothing is a weed if you give enough nutrition, because everything can coexist, increasing the green index and the diversity. Now, the one value of this weed is when your plants do not come well, they will give you cover. That is one. Second, the aroma of these leaves will help in zero pest management. Either they attract pests to themselves, or that way distracting from them from valuable plants, or they repel the pests. What I see here is another interesting plant also is coming up. This could be lantana. So there is a lot of things going on here. Now, the most interesting aspect here is that the transplantation I did of passion fruit has, in a very rare situation, is dying. So it is dying probably because of the emotional reasons. It is actually drying from bottom. That means something in the soil has gone wrong. Some bug might have caused this. So, but it has emotionally suffered also. Usually the emotional health of the plant is very important for it to survive against all odds. Here if you see that I have used that mud kind of thing, even then it has died. So it is interesting to find out whether we can do a post-mortem and see. You can see that the plant roots are still pretty good. For some reason the plant is dying. So it is for emotional reasons. And I think the emotional reason is primarily the plant feels that it doesn't have a good future here. And I feel that is coming from the chemical smell of these weeds more than the other plants. I cannot be sure, but it's important to note that this plant chose to die. I'm going to bring some other one here, and I'm going to de-weed this because I don't need it here anymore. So it's already a semi-shaded area. So I'm going to remove this particular creeper and give better emotional support to upcoming plants. So plants are very emotional. Even if you give them perfect conditions, in an urban evergreen jungle, we should admit that there is a lot of fight for survival. So much competition is there, primarily in the root side. And I am sure there is some psychological warfare that happens here, and some of the weak plants just give in. I think this sapling was a bit weak, I guess. Or maybe I expose this to some stress in the sun. Basically, I rendered it weak in transplantation. And after that, even in a perfect condition, it is unable to recover. I feel this will not survive. So I am giving up on this. You can also see that one more germination is not doing well. That is expected because this is not good, perfect condition. This is semi-compost, and anyway I don't need that. It could be a weed again. So the most heartening thing here is a papaya. A papaya has germinated here, and papayas will do well in this mess. I don't know what it is. So this papaya I will have to transplant, probably because it is in the very periphery of the bag. So I will transplant it in an evening or something. So this video was primarily about the weeds, the role of weeds, both good and bad, and some amount of emotional stress the plants can take, and how they wilt beyond a point.